Hello, guys. Welcome back. Can we have an other year than 2020? Really? Can we? I grew up being taught that the cops were the relative goodish guys, and I've known a lot of wonderful police officers before you fire up your keyboard. I have. And I know that sounds incredibly racist or something as towards that police, but Odin and I kept watching a clip. We're really not talking to each other. We're still having one of our Cold Wars as we do, but we watched a clip together and we watched it a bunch of times and we watched it on different outlets and we read the article on it and you've all seen by now the elderly gentleman that was pushed to the ground by the police and then they would not only not let another officer render aid, any of the protesters that ran to his aid were stopped as well. And it's kind of you're wondering what the hell is wrong with them as human beings. I mean, they're all dressed like scary Raccoon City SWAT police now. And they're all wearing riot gear now. And it's like the moment they put that gear on, and I know because I've known, different officers, they do say you get into a certain mindset. But the ones I've known that are good officers would have still stopped and rendered aid. They would have still stopped and helped him, especially when he fell down. Now, it was clearly an accident. The cop just did what cops do and shove people back, but you have to think it's an elderly person you're dealing with. That is an elder, you don't shove them. They don't have the best balance on the best of days. If you have elderly family members, you know the battle of the carpets, and you know what I'm talking about. When they have carpets all over the place and start tripping on them and you're taking them up and they're yelling at you that you don't love them anymore and you want them to freeze to death and you're like, Mom! So, it's a thing. Elderly people, we usually treat them in this culture, usually, very carefully. And if you have an elder in your family, you want to get them one of those baby buggies that they have for babies where you put them in that kind of like sling hamper and it has that bumper all around it. You want one of those for your elders, right? That way if they fail, they really wouldn't fall, but then you're afraid they're so old and they're delicate. Oh my God, what if it hurt them? And you just want to wrap them in bubble wrap and put them there, and they're resenting you because they don't want to be treated like that because they're elderly, and you're just terrified out of your fucking mind that the older they get, that if they just breathe too hard, you're like, and for a cop to just push an elder to the ground like that, it's like, what the fuck is wrong with 2020? I officially hate this year. Thankfully, I mean, not thankfully, he shouldn't have been pushed in the first place, being an elder and just, walking up to them with a cell phone, as elders do. He shouldn't have been pushed in the first place. But thankfully, he's in stable but serious condition. I honestly thought he was dead. That's not great that he's in the hospital, but it's better than the alternative would have been. And, it hurt watching that. And it hurt watching other protesters try to rush to his aid. And they're struggling against the police officers. And they're trying to get to him. They're trying to help him. They're trying to render aid. And the police wouldn't let them. And the old man and we're still not talking. I mean, we have principles. This might be terrible, but we're still not talking to each other. And so we're kind of not talking to each other, kind of making comments to the room in general. And I said, they just pushed a nice old white man to the ground. This isn't going to work out well for them, is it? And he's like, no, it is not. So, it's a weird year. What year did our elders become appropriate targets for police violence? We've already seen them throwing young people around like they're rag dolls and pushing young women to the ground of all various races. But now they're hitting our elders too? What the actual fuck? And he was being peaceful. He wasn't screaming. He wasn't picking up rocks and bottles and throwing them at them. He was approaching them with his cell phone out, trying to show them his cell phone is what it appeared to be he was doing. He was approaching them calmly. He wasn't running at them. He wasn't throwing shit. He wasn't trying to hit them with his sign. He was just being an old man. And they pushed him down for that. So I told my old man, he's not allowed to go out anywhere. And Odin just gave you that resentful glare and he goes, oh my God, I don't care, you're old. You're not going out of the house. They're hitting old people now and putting them in the hospital. You're not going out of the house. COVID anyhow. So he's mad. He's not allowed out of the house. I'm not allowed out of the house. Nobody allowed out of the house. There's still COVID going around. And now they're pushing old people to the ground. I'm like, you're not leaving the house. We've definitely left civilization at this point when they're pushing elderly people to the ground. And these are the police. These are the people that are supposed to prevent other people from pushing our elders to the ground. So we just kind of wanted to talk about that. We will kind of try to clear that out of our headspace somehow and try to talk about something later, maybe. But um, it's something that has to be talked about. It's 2020, and it's like any moral parameters we had have just gone somewhere. And some people were, even it seemed like, never read the comment section, but some people just seem to be like, well, the approach to police. Yeah, he approached the police as one does for help, so or to talk or to say something. They had no right to push him like that. So, if you guys like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye bye.